For centuries, humanity has gazed into the infinite expanse of the cosmos, not just to map stars or chart galaxies, but to answer a question that burns in our collective soul. Are we alone? We've sent probes to the edges of our solar system, telescopes to peer into the universe's cradle, and now the James Webb Space Telescope has pushed our vision deeper than ever before. But what it just found isn't a distant star or a cold, lifeless rock. It's something that defies everything we thought we knew. 3I/ATLAS, an interstellar object slicing through our cosmic neighborhood, isn't just passing by. It's carrying something, something alive. And it's not drifting aimlessly. It's heading toward Earth. Stay with me until the end, because if this is what scientists now suspect, it could rewrite not just our science, but our entire existence. The James Webb Space Telescope was built to unravel the universe's oldest mysteries, to see light from the first stars and glimpse the dawn of creation. Its infrared eyes cut through cosmic dust, revealing secrets hidden for billions of years. But during a routine scan of the outer solar system, it caught something no one expected, a faint flickering signal where only darkness should have been. This was 3I/ATLAS, the third confirmed interstellar visitor to cross our solar system's threshold. Unlike its predecessors, Oumuamua and Borisov, this object wasn't just a silent wanderer, it was radiating, not with the chaotic glow of a comet or the steady burn of a star, but with a structured, rhythmic emission that seemed almost deliberate. Initial readings suggested a reflective surface, perhaps ice or metal, but Webb's spectrographs told a different story. The object wasn't just reflecting light, it was emitting it, pulsing with an eerie consistency that no natural body should produce. Astronomers at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory were the first to notice the anomaly. The thermal signature of 3I/ATLAS wasn't diffuse or random, as you'd expect from a comet sublimating under solar heat. It was concentrated, rhythmic, almost like a heartbeat. Data streamed in, showing pulses of infrared energy at precise intervals, every 3.14159 seconds, a number chillingly close to pi. This wasn't the erratic outgassing of a comet or the radiation of a pulsar. It was too regular, too perfect. When scientists ran the data through spectral analysis, they found something even stranger. The emissions weren't just thermal. They contained narrow, organized bands of light, wavelengths typically associated with artificial systems, like those we use for lasers or deep space communication. The room went quiet. This wasn't a signal we stumbled upon. It was a signal that seemed to know we were watching. As the data piled up, teams at the European Space Agency began dissecting the object's light curve. Using Fourier transforms to break down the signal, they uncovered a pattern buried in what seemed like cosmic noise. The pulses weren't random fluctuations. They formed a sequence, repeating in cycles that match mathematical constants. Pi, the Fibonacci sequence, even prime numbers. This wasn't the chaos of nature, it was the precision of design. Some researchers whispered about a beacon, a message encoded in light. Others suggested telemetry, data being transmitted to an unknown destination. But what unnerved everyone was the signal's stability. Despite cosmic radiation, solar wind, and the object's high velocity, the pattern never wavered. It was as if 3I/ATLAS was built to endure, to broadcast, to be heard, or perhaps to listen. Then everything shifted. In a matter of hours, 3I/ATLAS flared, its brightness surging by 35% in under 90 seconds. No asteroid or comet behaves this way. The thermal spike was uniform, as if the entire object had activated, like a machine powering up. Then came the trajectory change. Initially, 3I/ATLAS followed a predictable hyperbolic orbit shaped by the sun's gravity. But Webb's tracking data showed a deviation, not a random drift, but a deliberate correction. The object adjusted its path by 0.47 degrees, aligning itself not with the sun or a distant star, but with the ecliptic plane of our inner solar system. It was moving closer to Earth, not on a collision course, but near enough to pass within the orbit of Mars. This wasn't the passive arc of a lifeless rock. This was intent. Scientists at the Max Planck Institute pushed deeper, analyzing the object's emissions with tools designed to detect biosignatures on exoplanets. What they found stopped them cold. The light from 3I/ATLAS carried fluctuations that mirrored biological processes, not the static chemistry of rocks or gas, but the dynamic rhythms of life. These weren't simple organic compounds like methane or amino acids. They were complex, oscillating patterns, resonant frequencies akin to cellular activity. The closest Earth analog would be the electrical impulses of neurons or the metabolic cycles of living cells. This wasn't a fossil or a chemical relic. It was active, rhythmic, alive. The implications were staggering. Either 3I/ATLAS was itself a form of life, or it was carrying something that was, and it was coming our way. Just as the scientific community began to grapple with this, another anomaly surfaced. The object's emissions suddenly dimmed, the thermal pulses weakened, the light spectrum flattened, and the rhythmic signals faded to near silence. But 3I/ATLAS didn't stop moving. Its velocity held steady, its trajectory unchanged. It was as if the object had gone dark, cloaking itself while maintaining its course. Researchers at Caltech likened it to a predator going still, conserving energy while stalking its prey. Was it reacting to our observations? Had it sensed our telescopes locking on? One chilling hypothesis emerged. What if this was a defense mechanism, activated when 3I/ATLAS realized it was being watched? A silent, invisible traveler is far more dangerous than one that announces its presence. And now, it was closer than ever. Closer to home, something even stranger began to happen. Magnetometers in low Earth orbit, part of NOAA's Space Weather Monitoring Network, detected faint disturbances in Earth's magnetic field. These weren't the usual solar flares or coronal mass ejections. They were localized, rhythmic pulses, perfectly synced with 3I/ATLAS's emissions. As the object crossed the Kuiper Belt, these disturbances grew stronger, rippling through our magnetosphere like echoes of a distant drum. No natural object, no comet, no asteroid, has ever triggered Earth's magnetic field from such a distance. The pulses came in groups of three, each lasting exactly 3.14 seconds. Physicists scrambled for answers. Was 3I/ATLAS interacting with our planet's magnetic environment? Was it probing us? The data suggested a connection, as if the object was not just passing through, but engaging with our world. A rogue group of astrobiologists at MIT proposed a theory that sent ripples through the scientific community. What if 3I/ATLAS wasn't just a probe or a carrier of life, but a living entity itself? Not a spacecraft piloted by something, not a drone sent by someone, but a form of intelligence evolved beyond carbon or silicon. They pointed to the object's rhythmic emissions, its precise maneuvers, its apparent awareness of our observation. In the vastness of the cosmos, life might not be confined to flesh or machines. It could exist in electromagnetic fields, in plasma, in structures we can't yet comprehend. If true, 3I/ATLAS wasn't just carrying life. It was life, a conscious entity traversing the stars, perhaps studying us as we studied it, and now it was approaching our doorstep. As observatories worldwide recalibrated to track 3I/ATLAS with unprecedented precision, a new discovery deepened the mystery. The object's gravitational influence didn't match its visible mass. Using microlensing data from Webb, astronomers found that 3I/ATLAS was bending light around it in ways that suggested a density far greater than any known material. This wasn't the gravity of a comet or asteroid. It was closer to the warping caused by a neutron star or black hole. Yet 3I/ATLAS was barely the size of a small moon. Some theorized it was manipulating space-time itself, not for propulsion, but for navigation, like a ship adjusting its course through invisible currents. This wasn't just advanced technology. This was mastery over physics we've only begun to theorize. Then came the fragment. A small piece of 3I/ATLAS broke away, tumbling through space. At first, astronomers assumed it was debris, a chunk of ice or rock sloughed off during its journey. But when Webb's spectrographs analyzed it, the results were staggering. The fragment wasn't irregular or natural. It was a perfect polyhedron, its surfaces smooth and symmetrical, with angles that defied natural formation. Its composition was even stranger, alloys with atomic structures unknown to Earth's periodic table. It emitted no heat, no radiation, absorbing all light that struck it. It was as if the fragment was designed to be invisible, a silent sentinel trailing its parent. This wasn't cosmic dust. This was evidence of engineering beyond our comprehension. Astronomers at the Keck Observatory in Hawaii turned their attention to 3I/ATLAS's rotation. Like many elongated objects, it spun, but not randomly. Its rotation followed a pattern, cycling through intervals that mirrored mathematical constants, the golden ratio, Euler's number, even the square root of 2. It was as if the object was broadcasting its motion, a language written in spin. Some speculated it was a form of communication, a signal embedded in its movement. Others suggested it was a calibration, a way for 3I/ATLAS to align itself with our solar system's geometry. Whatever it wasn't accidental. The object was performing, and we were its audience. The most profound discovery came from Webb's biosignature algorithms, designed to detect the faint traces of life on distant worlds. Analyzing the emissions trailing 3I/ATLAS, they found something unmistakable: molecular patterns consistent with self-replicating structures. These weren't simple organic molecules or fossilized remains. They were dynamic, fluctuating in ways that suggested growth, adaptation, even replication. The closest analogy on Earth would be the precursor molecules to RNA, the building blocks of life itself. Two possibilities emerged. Either 3I/ATLAS was a carrier, seeding the cosmos with the ingredients of life, or it was itself a living system, capable of creating or sustaining life. The idea of panspermia, life spreading across the stars, suddenly felt less like theory and more like reality. As 3I/ATLAS drew closer, crossing the orbit of Neptune, Earth's instruments began detecting something new. Magnetometers aboard the Voyager probes, still operational after decades in deep space, recorded oscillations in the solar system's magnetic field. These weren't random fluctuations. They followed a triplet pattern, each pulse lasting exactly 3.14 seconds, mirroring the signals from 3I/ATLAS. The amplitude grew stronger as the object approached, suggesting it was actively engaging with our solar system's environment. Some likened it to a computer syncing with a network, establishing a connection. But with what? Our planet? Our sun? Or something hidden in the vastness between? In a bold move, NASA's Deep Space Network sent a signal toward 3I/ATLAS. The transmission was simple: prime numbers, binary code, and a sequence of musical tones based on the harmonic series. For hours, there was nothing. Then, precisely 47 minutes after the final pulse, 3I/ATLAS altered its rotation by 0.01 degrees. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, but undeniable. The object had responded, not with a signal, but with a gesture. Some saw it as acknowledgement, a sign that 3I/ATLAS was aware of our attempt to communicate. Others saw it as a warning, a calculated refusal to engage. In intelligence circles, this is known as strategic silence, a choice to withhold, to observe, to wait. And in the vastness of space, silence is a language of its own. Digging into historical records, researchers uncovered something chilling. Infrared surveys from the 1970s, 1990s, and early 2000s showed faint anomalies along the same trajectory. 3I/ATLAS now follows. These disturbances coincided with unexplained radio bursts and gravitational anomalies recorded at the time. The implication was staggering. 3I/ATLAS may have visited our solar system before, looping through on a cycle that spans decades or even centuries. Was it observing us then, as it is now? Was it monitoring our progress, our technology, our evolution? The thought that this object might be a returning visitor turned curiosity into unease. We weren't just encountering something new, we were reconnecting with something ancient. The latest trajectory models revealed a final twist. 3I/ATLAS isn't aiming for Earth directly, but its path will bring it within zero point 0.1 astronomical units. Closer than Mars, closer than Venus. Its trajectory also aligns with a future past near Jupiter's moon Europa, a world with a subsurface ocean considered a prime candidate for life. Could 3I/ATLAS be targeting ocean worlds not to study them, but to interact with them, to seed them, to awaken something beneath their icy crusts? We've always assumed Earth was the prize, the destination. But what if we're just a waypoint, a stepping stone in a cosmic journey we can't yet fathom? As 3I/ATLAS continues its approach, a haunting theory has taken hold. What if its signals aren't meant to communicate, but to observe? What if this object, this entity, is a silent collector, absorbing everything about our world? Our radio waves, our magnetic fields, our biological rhythms? Its silence could be its strength, a design so advanced it doesn't need to announce itself. It watches, it learns, it moves with purpose. If it's been here before, it may already know us better than we know ourselves. And if it's carrying life, it might not be here to share it, but to compare it, to test it, to judge it. The final piece of the puzzle came from a genomic analysis at Stanford. Comparing 3I/ATLAS's biosignatures to Earth's genetic markers, researchers found faint echoes, not exact matches, but structural similarities to the most ancient parts of our DNA, the non-coding regions we once dismissed as junk. These sequences buried in every human cell might not be random. They could be a universal code, a template shared across worlds, across stars. If 3I/ATLAS carries such a code, it raises a question that shakes the foundations of our existence. Did life on Earth begin with a visitor like this? Are we, in some way, its descendants, its creation? So here we stand, staring into the void, not with answers, but with questions that burn brighter than ever. 3I/ATLAS is no mere object, no simple traveler. It's a signal, a possibility, a mirror reflecting our deepest hopes and fears. The James Webb Space Telescope has given us a glimpse of something extraordinary, but it hasn't given us clarity. Its biosignatures, its precision, its silence, they don't point to chance. They point to purpose. And that purpose, whatever it is drawing closer. What does it want? What does it know? Is it a messenger, a creator, or something we can't yet name? The truth is, we may not be ready for what comes next, but the universe doesn't wait for readiness. It moves, it speaks, it arrives. Share your thoughts below, because this moment, this discovery, might be the spark that changes everything. And as 3I/ATLAS approaches, one thing is certain: we are no longer just watching the stars. The stars are watching us.